GMB Pros, welcome Monday morning or Monday afternoon, right? Appreciate everyone that's on the lives, those that are catching the replay. I appreciate the GMB Pros family. Today, we're gonna chit chat a little bit on how to start any sales call, right? Or any conversation, how to start any interaction, especially with the leads that we're having through William Jones that he's giving out, where people are raising their hand that you can start up a conversation. That's the whole idea, right? So I give you some tips. These are not tips that I thought of. These are actually tips, and we're gonna have them on here. Patrick, he's going to be with us here next week, I believe it is. And he'll go into it a little bit more. So I really look forward to that with him. But he's the one that really taught me this method is how to start any sales conversation. It doesn't even matter which one, or it doesn't even matter if it's a cold email, if it's you're talking to somebody, like a commercial or something of that, like your elevator pitch, like they like to refer to it, right? And I have used it to a certain point because he's teaching me like a framework for sales. And then so it doesn't matter where you fall in, it's a framework, it's a road. You don't have to think about it. You know what you're going to say, you know how you're going to be able to help different clients. So Carlos, what's happening? How is the world in Texas?
It's kind of a little bit chilly out here at the
Yeah,
point now. I guess it's getting there everywhere, but everything's good. Learning a few things here and there, so it's pretty good.
awesome, awesome. Now you were telling me that you were using Local Wiz app to set up some, you said neighborhood pages, is that right?
Well, no, it's what it is. It's from Local Dominator.
Mhm.
They charge $250, 250 a month, but for Local Dominator users, uh, it's a great discount. They add your listing for free plus your first client is free, and then they charge you $37.50 per month per client.
Okay. And what do you get? Or is it like a GMB management?
Well, see, um, while I was going through the setup and everything, what you do is you create your projects and you put it on your website. You have to download their plugin, put it on your website. You add images. It creates post or project pages, and it gives you a GMB location after you set it up and all that stuff. So, and also videos, you could put videos and articles and whatnot. And you describe the project. So it's a detailed project page if you want to use it as much detail as you want. And then what happens is that when you have categories of projects, every location that you place, like say, if I did a project in, like say, my area in McAllen
Mhm.
or one in Harlingen, recent is gonna show recent projects and then show them there, and then you can click on whichever project that you want. And also, they tell us, well, go once you have that project, create a post to your GMB, do a GMB post, link it, whatever, to and share it to Facebook and GMB, YouTube, and all that other stuff. So
Nice.
you have a whole bunch of links going on at the same time. Also, there's sharing the feed, how you can connect to your other feed, so it could do it automatically, and it'll just link out to everybody. It'll send the feed to their, like say, the Web 2.0 accounts like Tumblr, Blogger, WordPress.com, and all that.
So you really like it. It's really coming in handy for you.
Yes, and I'm glad you guys introduced me to it.
Yeah, good, good, good. Yeah, so local dominator is the Cohen. In fact, I was just speaking to him recently. I need to get him back on here so he can give us some updates on that local dominator, and how to leverage it, how to utilize it for like prospecting and whatnot. So then he has other like Local Wiz, which is part of his agency, and he shares some of the tools that he has in there to help you guys. And I mean, Carlos is a great testimony on some of the tools and what he's doing with it. So right on, right on. I appreciate that. I have to reach out to Cohen and have him come on here and update us on what he has going on here lately. Kyle, how you doing, man? You able to unmute? If not, I understand. What is happening, my friend? So, and is it Ola? Not how you pronounce that? If you can unmute and maybe introduce yourself as well. Oh,
Lawawi,
well,
Lawali,
yeah, I'm not sure you
or
pronounce
Le.
that. But if you get a chance to unmute yourself and introduce yourself, where you're from, would love to meet you, or turn on your camera, put a name to a face would be awesome. But guys, so the topic of today, with the GMB pros, again, is stemming from the email special that William gave out as far as developing or getting leads, people that raise their hand. And with that being said, a lot of people, you still have to put some elbow room. We make the initial contact, whether depending on your, if it's SEO, or depends if it's website design. However, whatever angle you get the leads, these people, we made contact and they raised their hand. And then we have had some people that kind of understand it, like you still need to work them, you still need to contact. The whole idea is we just get them to raise their hand, and then you come in behind us to get them booked on the call. That's the very next step, right? Is get them on the call, get them booked onto your calendar, because you really don't know if you can help them or not, or what's their need, or what is going on with their marketing situation. So you want to get on the call with them. And again, this is not my invention. This is something that I'm trying right now. And more than anything, it gets us out of our own head. It gets us out of like wondering what to do. It gives you like a tool that you can utilize, that it can give you guidance. Like, if you go bowling, the bumpers, you throw the ball, it keeps the ball in play, right? It gives you some guidance. It gives you that framework where you can take down a conversation. So anytime, one of the things that Patrick teaches is anytime that anything to do with sales, you got to take the emotion out of it, right? Do not become emotionally attached. And I'm going to have him on here with us. He can go deeper into this, but all emotions attached, because if we're emotionally attached, then we become their friends, and then it's hard to ask those tough questions. And then we get caught up like in the whole like pricing, like become emotionally attached till they become your client. All right. So that's the first thing, especially if you're going to be going into some cold calling, especially like, if it's the first time that somebody books a call off of your emails, right? Like, then you get nervous, become emotionally attached. And we always want to, thank the person, depending on the angle, if it's a cold call, but let's say they get on your calendar, thank them, take them down through the structure. Is this a good time, to talk? Yes. Okay. Hey, I only normally work with people that either want to elevate, or that they, know they need marketing, but they don't have the time, or are frustrated with their results, right? Which one of those do you kind of which one of the two do you more relate to? Or I'm curious, are you more like one or like two, or which one do you fall in? Something like that, right? I'm just trying to give you the structure of how that goes. And then no matter what they really pick, there's really no wrong answer, because your next question should be, really, can you tell me more, right? And that's the key, guys. You just want to have that conversation starting where you dig into their business, where you dig in more to just start the conversation of exploring where you can help them, exploring what the problem is, what the pain is, and if they've done anything to fix it, right? And then how long has that been going on, right? And to the exploring factor. So in this framework that I just gave, right? If you guys take a step back, kind of listen to it, you can plug it in anywhere, right? That's from an appointment that you got on the calendar, right? So if you're into cold calling, or you like that, or you meet somebody, or you go to an event, or you're geared up with your Google marketing, your business, if somebody, were to ask you, you have that same structure. So I'm gonna give you from the point of view of a cold call, right? So if we take a cold call, we'll take Kyle, for example. Kyle, is this a bad time to speak, right? Um, you know, if they say no, it's fine, you continue. If they say, yeah, this is a bad time, no problem, respect that and move on. Now, keep it in mind, remember, keeping your emotions detached from this, you're gonna fumble on a cold call, right? You're gonna get more no's and yeses, but this is how to start and be a little bit different than the last cold call. So if they say, yeah, go ahead and it's fine, I got a few minutes, you can, the next steps of the frame would be, I was doing some research, and I was wondering if I can take 30 to 45 seconds to introduce myself. Is that okay? Yeah, sure, it's fine, thank you. Okay, I do, I work for William Jones Marketing, and we do one thing, is we help plumbers with their marketing, with their GMB and their ads, a complete package, to help them get more jobs. Okay. Typically, we have two types of clients that we help. One is that they're doing good and they want to elevate, or two, it's that they seem like they know the importance of marketing, but either they don't have the time because they're busy with their business, or two, they're frustrated with their results. I'm curious, are you more like one or two? Right? Now, at that point, it doesn't matter what they say, right? It doesn't really matter, like, oh, I'm more like one, I'm doing good, I want to do better, I want to get more, I'm more like one. Then you can say, hey, can you tell me more? Can you help me understand that better? Right? Kind of dive into a little more. All we're trying to do is get them on that conversation, right? And again, if you notice from the part of the if they book on your calendar, right, and they're new, right, and you thank them, is this a good time to talk? Okay, awesome. This is how the call is going to go. I'm going to ask you some questions, get to know each other. Hopefully, I'll ask you some tough questions. You can ask me some tough questions and decide if we can work together. And at the end of the call, either, if we have time, you'll know if we're a good fit or not. The only thing I ask is that you tell me yes or no. That way, we know where to go. I'm not trying to sell you anything. But on the cold call is we're just trying to get them into that conversation. Oh, tell me more. Help me understand that. Can you explain that a little bit more, right? And get them triggered. No matter which answer they give, again, it's just a conversation starter. That's all it is. Because we're not trying to sell them anything there. Okay, great. And if they go in a little bit deeper, you can get a little bit more information and date the person, nurture the person, right? Look, Riz, I have some ideas. Would it be okay? Would you be open to booking another call where I can go a little bit deeper into I think I can help you with some ideas. The way this call will go is, again, we'll recap, what your issue is. I can tell you a little bit more detailed about my solution, and then you can tell me if we're a good fit or not, right? Get them, break that, like future pace them a little bit. That way they can know what that call is entailed and what they have um kind of to look forward to, being a little bit different than the next guy as far as a book appointment or even a cold call, or you're meeting somebody like out of the blue, and like they call it the elevator pitch, right? um and there's a lot of truth to that and a lot of power behind that statement, right? We only do one thing. Pick your niche, guys. If you pick your niche and you're helping um the one niche, it helps you with this. We only do one thing. I only do one thing. I help plumbers get more jobs, right? That's all I do. And typically, I only have two type of customers. One, they're doing good and they want to go to great, or two, they know marketing is important, but either they don't have time because they're too busy, or they're frustrated with their results. So let's see here. If their availability to keep on chatting, is it better to just try to end the call and get them ready for a proper meeting in the near future? So what I found is, again, guys, this is just a structure, and we're just trying to get them the conversation started. Tell me more. How long has that been going on? Okay. And then, can we pretend a little bit if we were to fix this, if your system didn't have this, how would it be different for you? You know, um, you know, let's imagine that you don't get this taken care of, right? How would that look like? What's the impact of that? What is that really going to stop you from? So you're trying to get as much as information, that way they're like, they have that pain out. It's a little different, more of a consultation, more of a nurturing kind of a setup of the call. You're trying to get more information. Okay. Have you tried anything? Are you doing anything right now? So it'll gives you an idea of either what they're doing or what they've tried, and they're just being frustrated with their process, right? So at the end, of that conversation, Kyle, you're really trying to get them to the next meeting. Okay, Kyle, look, I have some ideas. I think we can help you. Would you mind, let's set up an appointment tomorrow, or even on Thursday. What time fits? Get that call. Okay, in that call, we're gonna go over some solutions, kind of go over your situation and how I can help you. I don't have, a template or cookie cutter proposal. Everything is special for each person, right? So in that call, it's only going to be about 30 to 45 minutes. It depends on how many questions you have and how many questions I'll have as well. And then I'll present you the solution. The only thing I ask is if you can do me the professional courtesy of saying yes or no. Usually if you have to think about it, or it's usually a no. But that's how essentially the call is going to go. You book it and you move on. So you're trying to get just enough information, Kyle, to get them engaged, get them to tell you a little bit more about their scenario for that future call, not necessarily to end that call right away, but it's to book the next call, right? Just like the cold email with ClickX, they embed a video in there. Their cold email and their sequence is different than somebody else's, but the goal really is for them to open it, look at it, and book the call. When you book the call, it's just getting to know them. Do they qualify? Are they a qualified lead, right? From there, we book a second call for like a solutions kind of like call, right? And then we're closing, we see, where we can help them. But the idea here is, guys, I just wanted to, it was taught to me. I wanted to share it with you guys. It helps with a little bit more clarity. So you're not going into a conversation like blind or not knowing what to do, or like the bowling ball goes down and you're trying to hit a strike, but it keeps you within the with the bumpers, right? Keeps you in the lane to hit something down the line. It could be a strike, it could be, half of the pinballs, but it gives you more opportunities to get to the next stage of the call or of the funnel. But that's a great question. So guys, it's going to be short today. I just wanted to get that out to you guys as far as how to start any conversation with anybody, give you that structure.
So can we go over that again? So you
Yeah.
call, and then what's the first thing you say?
So on a cold call basis it'll be like, hey Riz, is this a bad time to speak? And you kind of want to like stutter, like, you're hanging on your next word, because the psychology behind this is they want to help you get to it. But before that, remember, no emotions. Whether they say yes or no, they have time or not, whether they hang up or not, no emotions. You're just doing the reps. This is on a cold call, if you do cold call. But it doesn't really matter, because the frame, you can fit it into any situation. You're in an event, or it's an appointment already from a cold email, whatever the case is. So, Iris, is this a bad time to speak? No, it's fine. I was doing some research and I was wondering if I can take 30, 45 seconds to introduce myself. Is that okay? Thank you. Okay. Riz, I work for Plumbers and Marketing Pros. And we only do one thing, is we help plumbers get more jobs. Typically, we have two types of clients. One is they're doing good and they want to be great, or they want to elevate where they're from. Or two is the owner of the plumbing company knows marketing is important. They know they need it, but they either don't have the time to do it right, or they're frustrated with their current results. I'm curious, are you more like one or two?
Probably two, right?
You'll get both.
Yeah.
So and it wasn't mine. Another colleague tried this, right? And he had somebody say both. I have had people that have said one. I've had people that have said two, right? But remember, this is just like a conversation starter. If I say one, from good to great, right? Oh, good. Can you tell me more?
So now let's take it one step earlier. Are you doing a heat map scan before you reach out to them? So you're
No.
targeting the right people, or?
No. So this would be like cold email. So you're targeting your right people. This
Yeah,
would
but
be,
wouldn't you want to? You don't want to do SEO for the people that are already ranking. So I'm sure you probably find people that are not doing well, and then you pitch them, right? By sending them a heat map, don't you?
yeah. So in my cold email, I'm sending like an audit. They can see the website through the ClickX and a video, right? And it's my calendar on there. So this would help you for your calendar. Like, man, I don't really know. There's a questionnaire, there's a little bit, but the structure is kind of the same thing. You can plug it in there. This is for a cold call. You're calling somebody that you already know, right? Or that it's in your niche, or that's struggling. I don't get into, hold on a second. I don't get into like, I just want a conversation starter. That's it. So if they say they're good, or yeah, man, I'm busy, or I'm frustrated with the results, then boom, can you tell me more, Riz?
Well, what I'm trying to figure out is, like, if this is a cold calling session today, I'm trying
No,
to
it's
see.
it's more of a conversation starter to give you a frame, like, so you don't get nervous, you don't have to think about it.
But
There's
what I'm
some
trying to say is there must be a certain selected client that you do cold approach. It can't just like to me, I'll give you an example. Okay.
Mhm.
The clients that I do cold approaching to are people that have 10 reviews or less. That's how I kind of filter it down. Because if you go to Google and I want to, maybe market a plumbing company,
Mhm.
well, I'm going to try and go after the guys that have 50 or less or 30 or less, Probably don't have an SEO company signed up yet. Probably don't even have a website up. I can help those guys. And they'd probably be interested. They'll be like, oh, you know what? They're just looking into that. That's what I always get. They're like, oh, yeah, I've been meaning to get started and I didn't get into that. So that's what I'm trying to figure out from you
So
is
for
what is
back,
your filtered list?
yeah. So if we back up a little bit, okay. So here's the kind of the my thought behind this is, um, there's three channels that you're trying to get leads from, right? One is your social media, your content. You're putting content out there. People will see it. They'll contact you, book a calendar. Number two is just straight up cold email, right?
Mhm.
Setting up cold email, setting it to your niche. You have your sequence. You're just your cold email. Number three is paid ads.
Mhm.
Okay, those are your three channels. So what I'm trying to help is like, what is the conversation? What is that frame that when you're reaching out to them, if it's cold email or if it's cold calling, what that conversation should be?
Mm.
So like, let's say with you, right? You have no websites, 10 or less, 50 or less in the plumbing, or whatever your niche is, your doctors, your lawyers, whatever your niche is. How do you start that conversation, Riz?
Uh, this is a killer secret of mine, but sometimes I tell them, hey, I just got fired. And literally the conversation changes, right? Because I'm not a telemarketer, and they're like, why are you calling me if you got fired, right? So they usually get starstruck with that. They're like, okay. And I'm like, look, this is what I do for other plumbing companies, and the previous company, they got divorced, whatever, and I'm just trying to find my way to see if I can help someone else get up on top of Google and make them $1 million company. And then they start talking like, oh yeah, what'd you do for them? And blah blah blah. And then they get interested and they sign up eventually. So
Yeah.
that's like my $1 million secret right there.
So it's kind of similar, like if you guys notice, and Patrick teaches it this way, and like you're almost like get it out. Like
Yeah.
you got fired. Like people do want to help you.
Yeah.
They do want, like, man, you just got fired. They want to help you.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
it out. They want to help you,
Yeah.
right? That
Sometimes
you,
I've gotten like, hey man, we're not hiring. I'm like, well, you don't even have to pay me. Like I'll just keep going until I get a yes out of them.
yeah,
I'm like, well, how about I do it for a month? And if you get the leads increased, then you jump on board. And then what I'll do is I'll do pay per click. And they are already going to see an influx of that leads coming in. And then they sign up. And then I start doing the organic, slowly start turning down the pay per click, and the organic starts going up. And then clients on forever.
awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a very, it's working for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, so same idea. So I just wanted to give out that kind of tip, that nugget is conversation starters. Like, we only do one thing. We help, plumbers get more jobs, and then typically help, two customers. One is doing well, one is needing it and is struggling, or is too busy. And then boom, you go right into that conversation.
Yeah.
Did it help, Carlos?
Yes, it is helping. It is.
That way you guys will never like kind of go into it blindly, right? You have like, okay, I have an idea. I'm going to approach this. And again, it's just to get them conversating and to the next book call and building that relationship. Like Riz says, you keep at it till you get to the next call or you close them. You get a yes or a no. There's no in between, right? You can put them on a nurture system. You can put put them, you know, on your newsletter, collect that email and contact information. So guys, that's what I had for you today. If you don't have any specific question, I'm going to have Patrick on here, and he can just go on that for literally an hour, helping you with that. This was somebody asked the question like, man, I don't know how to call these people. They were in the plastic surgery niche and they needed help. Like, you know, how do I start these people? If I call them, like, what do I say? And this is what Patrick taught us. And I've kind of used it. And it does help. Again, it's more of like that anxiety. I don't know what to say. That kind of helps you with the flow. And again, at the end of the day, you have that funnel, you're just pushing people through. If anybody has any particular questions, something specific like on sales that I can maybe share my experience on how I've done it, or I can tell you, man, I never ran into that. I'm definitely not the sales guru or sales, know all the sales answers, but being that we're all in marketing, I can try to help where I can.
Out of curiosity, when you show your heat map scans, do you do just one keyword? Are you doing 3, doing 8?
I normally do a couple. I
You
normally
know
do
what?
a
A
couple
couple.
of,
Okay.
yeah, depending on the niche, I'll do a couple to kind of compare because
You want to know
one,
what I'm doing?
what's that?
I do about 25.
25.
Yeah, 25. And then when I sell, like, so I use Eldar's tool,
Mhm.
the local dominator.
We were just talking about that with Carlos earlier.
And so I'll do 25. And then I'll tell the client, this is the package for 3 keywords. This is the package for 5. This is the package for 10. And how many keywords do you want? You know, that's the plan of SEO you'll get. So they kind of bump themselves up. They're like, oh, well, I want these 6 keywords. And then they get in the middle tier package, you know? So that's been kind of cool. So they're like, oh, you know, I don't got that much money. I'm like, well, then you can just start with 3 keywords. So then we do 3. You know,
There you go. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Do you use any of Aldar's local whiz tools?
No, I haven't, not yet. I
Yeah,
want to. I haven't done
Carlos
it
was
yet.
telling me about them earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's getting up there, man. It's coming out pretty good. Stuff
Yeah.
he's coming out with.
Yeah, he's supposed to come on here. I'm gonna have him on here to kind of give us an update on like the new stuff he's coming out because I know he has some GMB posting coming out.
Yeah,
I've used some of his stuff for like geotagging photos. He has a tool within LocalWiz you can geotag like photos in bulk.
yeah,
So I know he has some things up his sleeve that he's making that tool better for us.
yeah,
And then again, if you're not on his mailing list, get on there because sometimes quite often actually, he gets a lot of tips, a lot of pointers. He had the point system, kind of like what you're doing. Like he, the customer walks with you how to, if they want a website, what the pricing should be, and they can see it black and white. Oh, why a website costs what it does, right?
yeah. Well, what I've always seen is if you just constantly telling them what it is they need, then what happens is they didn't get an opportunity to drive, you know? So like I kind of let them drive the car a little bit. Oh yeah, go ahead, choose your keywords. Kind of get involved. They're like emotionally invested now, you know?
100%.
Like,
Yep.
oh, my customers would always say this, that they type this in and find me, and that's how they find me. So yeah.
Awesome.
Hey,
Now,
Vince.
do you have two call close or one?
So it's a step-by-step process. So one is I'll call them, talk to them, have a friendly conversation. And my goal on that call is to set up a Zoom call. I need to get them on a Zoom call.
Mhm.
So once I get them on the Zoom call, I do a full presentation. Like I have a present slide deck, like it's about 20 slides. It's actually about 30, but I don't go through all 30 of them. Depending on the guy, if he's like a fast talker, he's like, dude, I want to know the ins and outs, then I'll go over the 5 main slides. If it's someone that's like, sometimes they'll have their wife on the line. You know, I have nothing against wives, but they're kind of like more detailed, right? Women are more detailed. So then I'll kind of go through each and every slide, slowly, and they understand, comprehending. And then when I hit that last price, my last slide with the price on it, then they're like, oh, wow, this guy's doing like A to Z. I'm getting a steal for this SEO price, you know? So I'm not saying I exhaust them, but I at least give them a good chunk of information on what's going on in the background for the price I shoot at them.
And I know Riz, he's not selling $500 packages, guys. So
Yeah, I'm not.
just so you know,
sure.
he's
Hey,
not.
Riz,
Yeah.
I want to thank you. You just opened my eyes with your packages. See, because I was just figuring that I just priced the packages for like say this is my price. This I'm just gonna charge them that. But with the packages, they can choose their own. You just open my eyes.
Oh, dude, it gets better.
Thank you.
I have a map that I'll take a screenshot of, and I'll do a small circle for the smaller package, a medium circle for the bigger package, and a very large circle for the larger package. And then I call the larger package like the Donald Trump plan. You know, and then they'll be like, hey, I want the Donald Trump plan, and they sign up for that one. So
Thank you for
Awesome.
that. Thank you for that.
yeah.
Hey Kyle, do you do a 2 close call or 1 close?
He's on mute, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't close much. No, I don't make many cold calls or anything like that. I just wanted to be a fly on the wall for this one. It's a buddy of mine's gonna step in and be my sales guy for a little bit. I just kind of helping him with the script. So this was getting me on the right path.
Oh, Kyle, keep your eye out on Patrick. When I have Patrick on there, he will blow your mind, gives you the scripts, gives you what to say. This script is actually his. That's why I don't take credit for it. I've used it 100%. So I learned this probably like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
I recognized it.
2-3 weeks ago, and you build off of it. It's like a whole roadmap that you build off of. And so yeah, I think you'll really find some benefit, and if you're looking for scripts and stuff like that, you really benefit from it.
I dig it. Thank you.
Yeah. What are you guys using for your channels? I know I mentioned like cold email. I know I've said ads, and I've said like content. What are your guys' channel? What are you guys out there doing? Are you on different like job platforms like the Upworks and stuff like that? We'll start with Carlos. How are you prospecting?
I just use GMB. That's it.
So you just go through it and call them manually?
No. I just have my listing up and running and they call me.
Oh, okay. So you wait for inbound. You do the inbound.
Exactly, just inbound.
Got it. Okay. What do you use, Riz?
So far, I mean, I haven't done cold calling in so long because my referral network has been just pumping me leads. But when it was mainly just scraping Google's GMBs. Like I said, anything that was less than 10 reviews was less than 25, you know. I to be honest with you, it's not a number. Truthfully, it's not a number. If I'm in the plumbing niche and I see all the plumbings have 100, but I see a few guys have 50, then my new threshold is 50, anything that's under 50, right? So that's how I kind of look at it. Like, what is that average? And it's not like I'm doing some big old spreadsheet or whatever. I just kind of eyeball it. Like, oh, okay, I can see that these guys, they want to fish up, they want to climb up, they're at 30 reviews. And these other guys, they're at 60, and then the other ones are at 400. So I can kind of game it. I'm like, okay, let me see which one is responsive more. If I call the guys with 30 reviews, do they jump on the SEO more, or the guys that have 60? So it's not like I never have anything set in stone. If you do, then you're probably a bad business person. But you got to be able to pivot and change and stuff, you know?
Awesome. Yeah, so those are the channels that I would suggest people to go after, especially like that's what we're telling our clients to do. We want to be drinking our own Kool-Aid and be doing the same thing. There's always room for improvement, right? Especially with our own SEO, with our own website that we're working on. But
Yeah.
I want to appreciate everyone, guys. If you don't have any specific questions or anything you wanted to share or cover, I think I'm gonna call it for today. Riz or Carlos, you're good? I know
I'm good,
Kai
man.
had to go with his kids, but I appreciate you guys. Let me just update you here a little bit. Tomorrow we have Drew with Matt. On Wednesday we have Chris Palmer, and on Thursday we have Brandy with Success with Local Networking. Figure we add a girl to the mix. We don't have that many that pop on here as often as I would like. Next week, guys, Patrick, he'll be on the Monday, so I think you guys should tune in for that. He is a genius. Been in the industry as far as sales and helping people scale for 20 plus years. So good guy. He's on a weekly call with ClickX. That's where I met him. Really elevating those guys over with ClickX and their cold email platform. So with that said, guys, much love, much success, and I'll see you on the next one.